Hello and welcome. Today I will be continuing building the Thunderhawk, gifted to me by Kriegsman. Thank you, sir. All of these videos would not have been possible without your support and contribution to the channel. So thank you so much, Kriegsman. Maxim, how are you doing? I haven't spoken to you for ages. Me old mucker. Just getting everything sort of set up. We're going to really hit the ground running this morning today. We're going to try and get as much done as possible. We're going to be focusing on all of the final parts for the Thunderhawk. And yeah, there is a place I need to be at some point today. But at least I am with you guys for the next sort of few hours. At least the next 3 hours. There'll be breaks. Well, there'll be a break. But let's get cracking. So I wanted to be a bit closer to the table, but my chair is not having any of it today. There we go. That will have to do. Oh, very good. Thank you. How are you? Excellent, Martin. You got in on time. Very good. Yeah, I'm all good. Maxim, thank you. Good to hear you're well. I might have to go and get my mask after getting all set up right now, but we'll see. All the glues. So yeah, let's get cracking. Every part done, every piece complete is one step closer to putting this together. I'll be painting it in live stream too. I did say I'll be going through the whole process for everyone. Give you an idea of what's involved with one of these. So if you see a Thunderhawk at a club or at a tournament or I don't know, at a store, you get an idea of what's the work involved with one of these. I think these are the aerofoils, or the flaps, probably the flaps. Yeah, great question, Martin. Yeah, what is everybody working on today? Are you painting anything? Are you building anything? What are you working on, Martin? Last night we built Dante. Not Dante's Inferno, but well, I guess so, Dante's Inferno pistol. But yeah, yesterday we built Dante and we had a good crack at Vashtor. For those that weren't in the stream yesterday, Vashtor is here. He's quite tall. I mean, the question is, would he fit in a Thunderhawk? Maybe crouched, maybe. Over the course of the next week, I will be working on Azrael. I'll be finishing Vashtor, and hopefully I can squeeze out a Sakaran. Sounds painful, but I like building the Sakarans. Well, I like building the Sakaran from 8 months ago. So yeah, that would be pretty good if I manage to get all those things done next week. The Cerberus, you know, that's a big project. That will take me a while. I don't think I'll get the Cerberus done before Seraphon arrives. I don't think. I'm trying to be realistic. I mean, I'd like to, but there's not really any rush for the Cerberus. And for the live stream Saturday next weekend, I'll be building a few of the... I want to build the Slan Master, if I can, in that stream. Might take me longer than I think. And maybe one of the Raptors. But apart from that, you know, that's my goal. Hi Revan, how are you doing again? Martin, you're painting your Alpha Legion stuff. Oh, nice. Nice. Be very interested if you're able to put that in the Discord server, like you know, of your work. That'd be really cool. I've been impressed with a lot of miniatures and things that, you know, the members have been putting in. Have I still got a copy paste? No, I haven't. Oh God, right, hang on, because this has probably come up. Thing is, I haven't copied and pasted anything since last night on this tablet, so let's just put that in, and then if anybody wants to join, it's all free, of course it is. I wouldn't charge for Discord, unless you want some secret classified documents, then of course I'll charge. I'm just joking. I'm just joking, FBI. Did you hear that? I'm joking. Right. You're working at the office today, but it's a slow day. Okay, well, at least you can hear my dulcet tones while you work, I guess. Bit of entertainment. But that's, yeah, I've got my coffee. Oops, it's getting a bit cold though. I need to drink that quite quick. Crikey. Yeah, let's do the other aerofoil. We're on for quick wins today. Bite-sized chunks, quick wins, guys. That's what it's about. Keep going for those quick wins, and then you get the big win. But yeah, don't be shy. Put what you're working on down below. You might not be working on anything. You might just be, you know, at work, or you might be chilling in this temperate, variable weather we're having. Well, here in Norfolk at least. Can't make its mind up. Does it want to be nice and sunny and clear, or does it want to be overcast and wet? Interchangeable. That's the word I was looking for. Or even intermittent. That word works too. Maxim, you're just chilling after you've released your offspring into the wild. Nice one. Matt, it's been a lovely sunny day this morning. Literally just started hailing 5 minutes ago. Yep, that's what I'm talking about right there, Matt. Yeah. I mean, at least it makes the day interesting with the weather, the interchangeable weather. But yeah, to go from a nice sunny morning to, right, here's some hail. It's a bit, yeah. Keeps you on your toes, I guess. Keeps you on your toes. Oh, hello, yes, hello. And welcome. Maybe everybody's just busy today, painting their line and retinue. Too soon. Too soon, super. I mean, in the stream last night, I did sit down and, obviously I was sat down, but I did have a look at Games Workshop's web store just to have a little feel around of what other minis I could possibly unbox and review for the Seraphon release. Most of them are all out of stock. I swear there's more dinosaurs in existence than there are Seraphon minis available on the store. I mean, I know they're dinosaurs, but the Games Workshop don't need to have them extinct on their own web store. It's crazy. So that pan went down the drain, I think. Ah well, never mind. We'll get some dinos for you guys, don't you worry. Oh, I think we're having a green stuff day, a green day today. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about this Thunderhawk, and it is a bit of a shame that they no longer provide like chapter specific, Legion specific iconography and doors for this. I mean, I guess you could put the, oh, where are they? No, you can't even do that anymore. I was going to say you could put the rhino ones on, but it's the Deimos pattern rhinos. This is a sneak peek for some Raven Guard stuff I'm working on. But yeah, I mean, they don't even do the chapter specific doors, so you can't really customize your Thunderhawk. Something I was really hoping they'd do to support the release of it those years ago. Only for everyone that actually has chapters, because back then I wasn't really thinking about having these as Dark Angels. But yeah. You chucked up the Praetor in the Horus Heresy section of Discord. Scotland is called no sunshine today. Michael, how are you doing? How are you doing? Scotland is cold. I've got someone I know going up to Scotland next week for a month on holiday. Yeah. He does like Scotland, massively. I like Scotland too. I've been there quite a few times. I've been to Wales as well. Found Wales very, very beautiful. Small as well though, like smaller than I thought. For some reason I thought Wales was quite large, but I suppose that's handy about some place that's small, that you can experience a lot of the beauty in a shorter space of time. I mean, okay, so it's a landing pistons, I think these are. I'm sure they're like landing pistons, part of the landing gear. They're just a bit tricky on the inside here though. Inside of the pistons. I have to say though, like the Dark Angel's colour, like that dark green, the Caliban green, it does suit well to these Thunderhawks. So does gold. I mean, yeah, as I say, we're on the quick wins today, guys. So we are stonking through this. We're going to be working on the pillars mainly and the aerofoils. This ladder takes a good chunk of time. The las cannons will take a good chunk of time too, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But I haven't been to Scotland for, I can't remember the last time I was there. It must have been 6 or maybe 7 years ago. I mean, I went to the Lake District in 2019. And that's not that far away, really. Okay, right. These are on a bit of a wonk, as you can see, but we are going to kind of heat treat them back into a more suitable erect position. One of the questions I have, is we haven't really had anything big from Forge World. I don't count, I mean, Kabanda was pretty big, and I don't really count like these new Ascended Primarchs and things, but we haven't had anything really big. So I wonder if all this year or 2 years they've been working on the Overlord. I do wonder if they've been working on the Primaris Flyer. I mean, that would be a great surprise for 10th edition, wouldn't it? Or even at Warhammer Fest. Surely we would have seen leaks and things of it already, though. I don't think it would be plastic, though. I think it would be resin. And it would either be very similar price to the Stormbird. I'd say it's more pricey, more on that price point to the Stormbird than the Thunderhawk. I don't think they're on live support. I really don't. What if the Overlord... Oh, you've already said what if the Overlord... It won't be plastic. This is the thing. There's no way. It's too big. It's still going to take up as much room as it would in resin. And if it was plastic, for a plastic kit that was bigger than the Thunderhawk, with all the... You'd need lots of sprues. And you need an injection mould for each sprue and machine. And they cost hundreds of thousands of pounds. Yeah, I can't see that happening. Let's just say it was possible, and they could say like one wing for the Overlord was 40 parts, which is understandable. That's 80 parts just for the wings, and then let's say another 40 parts for that part. That's 120, another 40, 160. I would say realistically maybe 300 parts. I can't foresee an Overlord, if they could actually do it and they could put it in a box, minimum of 350, maybe 400 quid for the plastic kit. And they just don't do that. They just don't release massive expensive plastic kits. What's their price point at the moment? What's their most expensive plastic kit they do? Is it like the Kragnos or the Dominus, the Castellan Knights? They're quite expensive. And even those are like 120, 130. Yeah. It's all about the forecasted sales as well. They want it to at least recoup its cost. And then there's another factor in that the rules, you know, they'd have to put rules for it to be usable in games. Yeah, I think we'll get more plastic heresy. I think that's a thing. But in terms of a plastic Overlord, well, put it this way, the Overlord's bigger than the Thunderhawk, and we haven't got a plastic Thunderhawk. Well, not really. I'm not counting the Aeronautica. And you can't just get the Aeronautica plastic kit and enlarge the CAD. It just doesn't work like that, because you'd get one wing that would be, you know, bigger than a sprue. Well, it's nice to dream, definitely. Take a long time to put together. Well, to build, really, longer than this has taken me. I don't know. I just feel like they need some flyers. Primaris. Flyers of their own. Oh, quite happy with that landing gear. I think this is one of the sides. I might not even use these landing gears. We'll see. We'll see if I do. The kit looks intimidating. Yeah, it does look intimidating. But I'll tell you right now, it's my favourite resin kit out of all the ones in Forge World. It's relatively new, came out in what, 2017. I really enjoy it. It does have a lot of parts which do need cleaning up. But you can, once it's all cleaned up, you can put it together relatively straightforwardly. I'm just making words up. And you can choose to put some magnets on it. But once it's built, it's built. You can then spray it, paint it, go for it. So if I was sort of recommending a big kit, it would be this one. Like the Warhound and Reaver look really cool, don't get me wrong, but they're an absolute pain to put together. The Nemesis is a big project because you've got the top cannon as well, and all the extra little bits. It's close to a Warlord in terms of project scale. So now that is an intimidating kit, but the instructions are pretty nice, but that requires much more magnetisation. The Warlord is a nice kit, but again, I'd say that's more intimidating than this one. In terms of the glass piece, that's just plastic. It's a plastic resin piece. That's fine. People have sprayed that completely, full cover. I might do the same to kind of give the example of the shutters if they're close to a star or if they're going into re-entering orbit. I say to protect them. They're space marines. They've got specific covers in their lenses to shield them from harmful light and things. But you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure the system has something as. I'm sure the ship has something as well to protect them. Yeah. Also looks like a play set. I don't know about that. It's a pretty big, heavy play set. I don't know. I think in person, I mean, looking at that now, Dante looks more like a play set than the Thunderhawk. Thunderhawk looks like a finely detailed kind of big scale miniature. No, it's got way more detail than sort of Lego or anything else you can think of. For me, it's just very iconic. Like, the Thunderhawk is such an iconic vehicle in 40k. When I was a kid, I saw pictures of like the metal Thunderhawk and thought, wow, do they even exist? I'd never get one of those. Never dream of picking up one of those. And now we have them. It's a shame that when they designed this and they produced this, they didn't also apply some of these effects to a Thunderhawk transporter. That would have been quite cool. Looking at it now, if they brought a Thunderhawk transporter, I'd be all over that. I really would. Not for game rules or anything like that, but just from a narrative collection point of view. Just flying about a Land Raider, like deep striking your Land Raider. Or even just carrying around a Predator, 2 Predators maybe, 2 Rhinos. I think it's quite cool with the Stormbird that you can drive your Rhino into the back. Bit like a Thunderbird in a way. But You have to shout the launch sequence for the Thunderhawk. Oh yeah, you definitely have to, when you're using that Thunderhawk on the gaming boards, you have to make all the swooshing sounds and the laser sounds, like everyone does for the Eldar vehicles. Or is that just me? Probably just me. Okay, that didn't take as long as I sort of expected. These. They don't require too much work. Yeah, we're going to work out those airfoils. We're leaving those las cannons last. Yeah, that will do. It's all good, we're making progress. So, pre-orders later, pre-order preview. Any predictions? Tenth edition? Okay, right. We'll put a bit of green stuff on the top of that, but sorry, I've just seen something about a child. Hang on. Yeah. Good, cracking on. The release schedule, yeah. Yeah, the release schedule is a bit all over the place, isn't it, at the moment? That kit looks the size of a child. I need it baldy. I need it badly. You need a child badly, or you need the kit badly because it's this size. I don't know. I've had this one over 5 years. I've had it 6 years, so well, almost 6 years actually. So I guess it's still 5, but yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. It's, you know, those 5 years have gone by quite quickly. And now, courtesy of Kriegsman, we've got another one. I know. Well, yeah. Yeah, only 5. You may feel like it's been longer, but did I have the Warlord before then? I think I got the Warlord the year before. I think I've had the Warlord longer than the Thunderhawk. I mean, at the time, I did think, you know, should I be getting a couple more Titans and things, and I'm hard about it. And at the moment, I'm so glad I did, because all the price increases and price increases for everything else in life as well. Just made a lot of sense. Would I be picking up a Titan now? Probably not. You know, I had a goal to get what I wanted to get, and I achieved it. Now the goal is trying to find the time to build and paint it all, though. But, you know, it's what retirement's for, is that right? Can you imagine me sat here when I'm retired, Papa Super, old man Super, just streaming all day every day. Yeah, I totally agree, Bob. It wasn't long enough. Did you manage to secure Adeptus Titanicus Compendium, Super? No. I didn't pick that up. I had a choice. I could go all in with Adeptus Titanicus again, and get the compendium and things like that. But no, I've decided to go for Seraphon. Like, I asked a few people in the Discord if I should do Seraphon, and they said yeah. So I'm going to be doing that. With the Seraphon, I'm not sure if I can secure some of the other kits, because they have kind of stock issues and all the rest of that amazing things that they're going through. But we'll see. I think to start off with Seraphon, it'll be just the new minis that I can actually secure, and then we'll look at getting the older ones, the older kits. But yeah, Titanicus, bit on a back burner with that one. I'm kind of not fueling that. one of the main reasons is because I just want the 28mm versions of the weapons that they released years ago to come out for the big Titans. And the only thing you're going to do by continually buying the smaller scale ones is you're just going to encourage them to keep making newer, smaller Titanicus weapons. That's the only thing you're doing by buying the new weapons. I don't know if the full-scale weapons sold well. They're very nice kits, and I did my best to cover them. I bought multiples of them. You know, there are thousands of Titan owners out there that have the weapons, and they're crying out for the new weapons that they see in Titanicus. And you know, some people are getting impatient, and rightly so, and they're deciding to print their own, you know, which Games Workshop doesn't really have an issue with. You know, if it's not in, if they don't make it and it's not in, say, print, you know what I mean, it's not in production. True scale Adeptus Titanicus, oh god. I'd always say be careful what you wish for in getting anything true scale. There is a game system behind it. You know, it's the reason why it's one of the reasons why we don't have a true scale kind of Star Destroyer or Super Star Destroyer, things like that, because, you know, there is a game system behind these minis, and they've got to be usable. So it's one of the reasons why they can't make them, you know, the scale that you might expect. And also it would cost more as well. So I don't think the trade-off is worth it at all. And also that has an impact on other minis. Like we're now seeing like 10 of anything that Games Workshop make as being £30, £35, even £37. And that's been a knock-on effect. I call it the Primaris effect, where these bigger, more detailed Space Marines have come about, and the price for them has just become the norm for all of the other minis in the ranges. And as a result, we've also had less optimization, less posability, and more armies that look the same as each other. You know, there are... It's a double-edged sword, you know. They're not making kind of bigger, I say, true scale minis that have more posability, that have more options, for the same price. In fact, they're charging more for less. Like, that's the sacrifice that we're seeing being made. You know, I always go back to the Soulblight Gravelords kits, in that the zombie kit, you know, Gravelords or whatever they are, it's a really nice kit, and it's better than the Death Rattle Skeletons. And you'd think that the Death Rattle Skeleton kit would be awesome, lots of options, lots of customization, but no, it's not. And then cultists as well. If we look at 40k cultists, specifically the Chaos Space Marine ones that were released last year, awful, you know, no customization at all. And with cultists and guard and things like that, you'd expect them to be. I mean, I think the guard do have a fair bit of customization, which is good. They needed that. But certainly for cultists, you want them all looking different. There's only so much you can paint slightly different than the others with cultists before you know, one cultist holding an auto gun and another one holding an auto gun looks very similar. Anyway, that's my little rant over. I'd much rather have more posability and more options in minis. Definitely. Because by not offering that, it just encourages more hobbyists to print their own weapons, to acquire their own uniqueness. And you can't really say they kit bash more because there's less parts, less spare parts in the kits to do that. So it's, I mean, characters is a different, it's a different kettle of fish. It really is. Like Dante, you know, my metal Dante from over 20 years ago had no customization options. You couldn't really change anything on him. He was metal. Even the jump pack was metal too. What you see is what you got. You built him and that was it. That was done. Similar case for this one, but he's got a Primaris jump pack now, you know. So, yeah. Oh, let's read some more. 1-1 scale Warlord Titan when GW. Oh God. Imagine that. Imagine. They've got some Gundam and kind of suits and things in Japan, haven't they? That are a decent scale. I don't think they're not 1-1 scale, are they? But you can like jump in them. I saw James May's video about them. That looked quite cool. How much of your models are actually painted? Just check my channel out. There's plenty of videos where you can find that answer out yourself. Do I even like painting? Sometimes it's my least favourite part of the hobby. I'm definitely more of a builder and a collector. The thing is with painting is I'm a perfectionist. So I set my standards very high myself. So I'll paint something and I don't know if this is an actual genuine question or whether you're just trolling or whether you just come in to, you know, have a kick and then leave. I don't know. Some people do that. But if it's a genuine question, then I'll give you a genuine answer. But yeah, I just look at a model that I've painted and I keep going back to it and think, oh, I could just touch this up or touch that up or, you know, and improve it. And I get caught in like a bit of a loop. But yeah, it would be easy, very easy to make an assumption, like of why I wouldn't paint things, but that is my answer, is that I just take a long time painting. And also, I create daily content on a channel that has 3,500 videos. So, and this isn't my job. Like, I share this hobby as a hobby. So working a full-time job and a part-time job on top of making all this content is, yeah, very time, it takes a lot of time. And so I barely get enough time to build the new minis that come through, let alone, you know, paint them. If it was my job, then yeah, I'd probably stream more and probably stream painting more. But painting for me just takes a long, long time. You know, I don't have an airbrush, so I hand paint everything that I can. And also, another thing is I don't really display a lot of the models or game, which are two big motivating factors. Definitely the gaming of them is a big motivating factor. So what I'll do is I'll finish a model and then it'll go back in a box. So, you know, that, yes, it's painted, but no one will see it, and it's in a box. So, like, what's the point, really? I'd rather just, like, build a model, put the model in a box, and then build another model, and keep enjoying the hobby that way. Because otherwise I'd end up with so many, you know, massive backlog of things to build. I mean, I've been ill recently, and I've also been busy with other videos. So that Typhon took me quite a while to build, longer than I expected. I think it was a month from when I got it to when I released the review. And in my head, that's just not fair on people, to wait a whole month to get a review of a Mini. You know, like, Dante's finished. I built Dante yesterday in the live stream for an hour, and that's great. Part of me wants to, you know, do the review after this live stream and release it tomorrow, but another part of me wants to give you unboxings and first looks at the Cerberus and Vastor. So yeah, that's my answer anyway. So, are you thinking putting the Thunderhawk on a flying stand? I am, yeah. I am thinking about putting it on a flying stand. I might liaise with Leaky Cheese, just dropping a name there. He put his on a flying stand and he did a fantastic job, and you know, he really spends a lot of time, more time than I could justify, on his miniatures, like putting rods in certain places, and, you know, really takes the time. I mean, I'm just filing these parts and I'll put them together and glue them, but he will go next level, and I might liaise with him about how he put it on a flying stand. But it's definitely something I'd like to do. Whether I'll have the landing gear down for that or not, I'm undecided, because if I don't put the landing gear on, it means it's going to take much longer to get to the painting stage, and I really want to go for the painting stage in these live streams. But I think it'd look a bit odd with the landing gear down, but also on a flying base. But I'd love to do that. The displays in Warhammer World, I don't know if anyone's ever gone, but they have, I think, 2 or 3 Thunderhawks that are all flying, firing missiles and things. It's worth going if you you know, live in the UK, or even if you're coming over for a visit and you enjoy the hobby. It's definitely worth making a trip to Nottingham over. But yeah, they pretty good. And it definitely, I mean, the Stormbird, I don't really want to put that on a flying base. It's so heavy. Whereas these Thunderhawks, you could. It's a shame Forge World don't create a base or a flying stand for them. That would be fantastic if they did. It really would. Even if the flying stand was sort of a couple of £100, you know, I'm sure there are many sort of Thunderhawk owners that would enjoy the option of having it, and also take less space up on the battlefield. If you make it more usable, wouldn't it? This is the thing, and the more usable a big model like that is, the more people will be encouraged to buy it. I think, you know, if you made a stand that was probably like that big, you know, that's a much smaller area that it's going to take up, but you had it kind of, the thing is, it is very heavy, but if you had it like tilted, but it's very secure on a weighted base, even like that height would look so cool. But yeah. Yeah, I know, Sampler. It never gets old. It never gets old. Hello Tanker, how are you doing? Good to see you. I haven't spoken to you for ages. How are you getting on with your Space Wolves and your Titan? I think you got a Titan recently, so congrats. You probably built it and painted it already. I don't know. Why am I thinking it was a Warhound? Okay, that's that aerofoil done. We'll work on these. I say it flap, I think it's just a flap. Warhound was the first. Now you have a Warbringer as well. Built up now. Oh, you've built up the Warbringer. That's excellent. That's really cool. It's a nice project, that. Yeah. You would love to make a flying base for yours, but having trouble finding transparent rod with the right diameter. Yeah. Maybe hit up Leaky Cheese. I'm not sure if he's got a transparent rod. Sorry. Might be worth hitting him up. I mean, if he doesn't have one, he'd probably be able to give some support of where to find one. He's quite a resourceful chap. I mean, this is the beauty about these kits is I might glue the landing gear and things on just to paint it and spray it. But in the future, there's nothing really stopping me from, you know, snapping the legs off and, you know, gluing back the landing feet so that it's closed when I do get a rod for it. Nothing's stopping you. You know, I did that with the, not with the rod, but with the Warhound Titan, the Lucius pattern. I bought that in 2000 and, I want to say 2, maybe 2003, maybe 2003. And it was one of my very first Warhammer videos on the channel. And it just wasn't painted very well. And yeah, I wasn't very happy with the pose and the legs. And in the end, I stripped it. I broke the hips and things. And yeah, just built it back up from scratch. I think that's quite cool that you can do that. And yeah, it's not much of a modification to go from a landing gear down Thunderhawk to one on a rod and a base. It is literally just the landing gear and then drilling a decent sized hole in its underside. At the same time, I'd rather not drill a hole into it. I'd like some kind of, you know, happy medium where I could land it but also have it on the base. I think it's a one-way trip though, really, when you decide to put it on a base. Maybe if you've got a really strong magnet somehow, I don't know, like put the magnet in. Again, it's detailed interior, so where do you put a magnet? If you're going to put, and it'd have to be really thick. Yeah, there are lots of questions about that, about whether you could magnetize a base or a rod to it. I don't think it's possible, but Bateman would probably disagree with me. Okay. Yeah, these will be seen on the very outskirts, I guess. So I would suggest paying a fair bit of time on these aerofoils. And these bits as well. Trying to get these as flattened as possible. Advice might help in this stage. We're getting there with this piece, but as I say, this piece, you will see it. It's on the very front of the Thunderhawk, so it's worth taking a bit of extra time. Cool. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that that's gone. Yeah, what we'll do, so I'll just finish this off with green stuff. You don't have a Thunderhawk, but you'd use some fishing line to hang it up. Yeah. It's a great idea. Yeah, it would hold it as well. But it's, for me, yeah, I don't think I'd trust the line, but I don't know whether I'd trust the fixing point for the line and the fixing point on the Thunderhawk. Because if that falls, well, we've all watched the Lego Star Destroyer being launched off a balcony. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to repair these when like resin parts snap, which is one of the reasons why I don't put rods in my resin miniatures, because I know a few people that have put rods in their Titans and things, which is great for vibration proof if you're taking it around the country and, you know, on planes and things. It's great, but when they fall, instead of them snapping at the joints, which is usually the weakest point because it's just held by super glue, they snap at the actual you know, the resin itself, because the joints are so strong. It always will snap at the weakest point. So that's one of the reasons. And yeah, one of these would just cause a lot of damage as well, whoever it landed on. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd look really, really cool. I don't think Forge World have hung theirs up on fishing line. I think they do have like solid metal rods, but then again, they can afford to do that, can't they? Because, you know, putting a metal rod in the side of a Thunderhawk for them, I'd just go downstairs and pick up another one, wouldn't they? Yeah, crash Thunderhawk. Yeah, that never happens, right? It's not a huge loss to the Imperium, a crash Thunderhawk, compared to a crash Stormbird. It's one of the main reasons why they, why in the Horus Heresy they were producing the Thunderhawks, because they were easy to replace, and they were smaller, so they attracted less fire, and all the rest of it. It seemed like a good trade-off not to need to put a Rhino in the back of it and carry like 20 extra Space Marines. You could still carry 30 Space Marines in the Thunderhawk. It was still a very decent assault craft, capable of, you know, void and atmospheric flight. And it's got a very decent weapon on it. I mean, that is a Titan weapon. It's a turbo laser on the top. Much prefer it to the Thunderhawk cannon. Which I would have thought would have created a bit of recoil compared to a energy weapon. Yeah, it forgoes any void shields, but the armor plating on it is pretty decent. Like a flying Land Raider, really. And also you've got the assault ramp. You know, so these big boy Terminators that are coming out should still fit. And, you know, you could just land it and then have them file out if the area's too hot, because it doesn't have a, you know, well, it has these, which I guess would protect it. It would be cool to give it options for flamers, though, and that would be fantastic, or las cannons even. But I suppose it's got las cannons on the top. But you know, if that's too hot as a landing, there's also another larger sort of opening at the back of this front section, and then you've got the two side doors, so you've actually got 4 exit points right there, and then that's it though. You've just got the 4 exit points here. So if you were fighting this and it had landed, you'd want to be attacking the front to force them out to the sides, and then start pummeling the sides. You'd need to flank it, which is quite difficult to get into that defensive position, considering how maneuverable it is and where it would land. You'd have to kind of really predict where it could land and get those two different fire points, really. But anyway, your ceiling is concrete. Oh god. This is where we find out Sampler's just living in a bunker, and in a reinforced bunker, just building up a Space Marine chapter with no flyers, with 2 Stormfangs, he said last night. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if you've got all that, Sampler, you know, definitely pick up a Thunderhawk. You know, you can live your dream with having it suspended from your concrete ceiling. Yeah, my ceiling is not concrete. I have a roof with insulation. You know, like I'd probably say most people do. 20 land speeders. You'd put 20 land speeders attached from the ceiling. Now that would look very cool. That would look very cool. What land speeders have you got? Are they all just the plastic Space Marine ones, or have you got any Forge World ones? Or I must say I am a bit low on the old land speeder count for a chapter. Definitely. I've met my quota for scouts, and you know, I think I do have 100 scouts, and I think I do have almost 200 Terminators, and I've probably got most of the Space Marines now, if you count my Primaris reinforcements. It would be cool to have just a solid Space Marine army showcase with some Horus Heresy units as legacy units thrown in there. I think that would make a cool video, but it's just getting the room and the space really for me to do that. It's definitely something I'll look into. Right, we're almost coming up to, well, 1 hour and 20 minutes really, so we're getting to that point where I'll need to give my neck a rest and go and have a bit of a walk, a bit of a stroll, get a drink. Uh, 6 scout ones, nice one. Sounds good. Yeah, 12 normal land speeders would look awesome. I will pick up a few of the resin ones. Like I will pick up a second radio in the next few months for the collection. My plan was at this point in time to have finished the Legions, to have the Imperial Fists purchased and also the Emperor's Children, but you know, some things have got in the way. I've had to purchase a few other things, so they've gone on a bit of a back burner, which is fine, because it means I've got more time to do like things like this and cover the new releases in the Seraphon. Hi Arctic, how you doing? But yeah, I'd like to pick up a few of the resin ones, even though I do think that the retooling of the sponsor weapons does look a bit silly, in my opinion. I think the weapons look a bit too big. They already look big on the Predators, so they definitely look big on the land speeders. I mean, I think it is still quite cool that you can get like the full-size sponsor weapons like the las cannons and the Volkite on them, but from a aesthetic view, it's, I don't think it kind of works. But you might think it does work. Just want to finish this piece, and then I'll grab a cup of tea. Hope everyone else is doing well with their hobbying, if you're all up to hobbying today. Yeah, it'd be awesome if you put what you've been building or painting in the Discord as usual. Because obviously you can all see my progress. Would be cool to see your progress. Even if you've built or painted a Space Marine in the stream. You're going to a double birthday in half an hour, so you're going to get ready. Nice one. Hope you have a fantastic time, and they have a fantastic time too. Plenty of drinks and cake and, good food. I'll be here until probably about 2:30. And it's just a simple case of, we'll get as much done as we can in the time. Okay, that is this aerofoil done. Happy with that? Good. So that's well, we could take these bits off. And maybe this bit. Let's probably just square that off a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's going to be about right. See, I don't know about this this rivet here. Yeah, I guess it is. I'm not sure about that. I think that is an extra. I think it's an extra, but this here, there's no reason why that would be a rivet. But there is one on the other piece. What did I do on here? I left it on. But I put... They're on opposites. You know what? Because there isn't one on the other side, and usually you'd have parallel rivets or diagonally opposite ones, I'm going to remove it. I'm making that executive decision to remove this thing here. Yeah. Because the rivet isn't even square on, it's like at an angle. I don't think it would have that. So I'm going to remove them both. Plus it's on the front of the vehicle, and I'm going to have to paint that up, and it'll just draw attention to it. Yeah, we're not having those on, and I'm going to remove them off my OG. I know I'm going to get chastised by the Omnissiah for going against STC, but maybe I just send Darren a direct message. Jump into Darren Parwood's DMs. Is this rivet supposed to be there? Yes or no? Okay, we'll work on this, but this will take a little while because we have to get into all of the gaps, and there's 6 gaps, and you have to go from one side to the other, and clean the gaps between the bars and the rungs of the ladder. And then the thing I've been dreading for a while now is the las cannons, because there's gaps there, and in the cabling. There's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 activity points, I don't know, 4 mold line removal areas on each. So, and likewise with this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 on this, plus there's quite a lot of quite a large area that we're going to have to smooth off and round. But luckily, the laser goes that way, so you're going to hide all of that. And the tip is fine and smooth. It's just the shaft needs a bit of work, as usual. Right, what I'll do, I'll just read a few more of your comments, and then I'll hop off and get a cup of tea, because yeah. Let's just read a few more of your comments. I've got a question. Where are the Mark 6 Marines supposed to wear their bolt guns? On the belt or the leg plate? So far I mostly see them on the ceramic leg plate. They can wear the bolt guns anywhere, really. Oh, Sampler, you've already answered that. You glue them everywhere. When you say the bolt guns, well, I've got my... It's probably best if I just show you. Right, so there's your Mark 6. He's not really wearing his bolt gun. He's holding his bolt gun. I don't know whether you mean your bolt pistols, which are obviously the pistols. It's up to you, and the same with bolt guns. They can be mag locked. It's powered armor, so they have. Think of it a bit like your MagSafe with your charging and things of your phone and all that lot. In that they can be put in many places to be mag locked onto the armor. So it can be on any part of the leg. Not sure about the shoulder pauldrons. I don't know whether you'd want to put magazines on your shoulder pauldrons for quick access, but yeah, pretty much anywhere around the legs. Also on the power plant, things can be mag locked onto, and this plate here. It really is up to you what you think looks best. There's nothing from the lore and what I've read, numerous books. That's what I've gained, is that they can be mag locked places. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question. A purity seal or extra triple pouch of magazines. Well, purity seals, they're kind of like heated and waxed onto armor pieces, aren't they? So they can be put anywhere, purity seals. And some can be magnetized on as well, of course, with a magnetic backplating, I would think. But I think a lot of them are waxed on to armor when they go through their armor ritual rites, preparation, things like that with their armorers. Anyway, I'm gonna just pop off just for like a couple of minutes, grab a cup of tea, and then we'll crack on. We're making great progress, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Ooh. I'm back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Hope you were able to get a bit of a break too. So we made great progress with all of those parts this morning and a little bit of this afternoon. Let's crack on. We haven't got too many parts left really. After we do these, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, kind of 10 parts. We're almost into single figures. So we are close. I did say it would take another 1 or 2 streams to, you know, break the back of this thing. And as I said before, it's worth doing, worth cleaning up all of these parts, because this miniature could last you a long time, many years. And with the way things are going with prices and things, you're not sure whether you need to sell it or whether someone will buy it off you. Could I do that as a job? Yeah, I could do that as a job. If someone wanted me to build them a model, happily do that. Painting it, you'd be lucky if you got it back within a few months if you wanted it painted as well. But Illinois Farmer, good morning. How you doing? I'll say good morning to you. It's afternoon here in the UK at the moment, but good morning to you, sir. John, single figures but big pieces. Yeah, the thing is though, I prefer big pieces because, like, take this wing. That whole section is fine. That one needs a bit of work. That needs a bit of work. That does, and that. But they're not too bad for a big piece. Like, that's a lot of detail there that doesn't need any work. So yeah, and say like this piece as well. You're not going to see this area, but I'm still going to smooth it off. And likewise, I don't think you see this area because the wings go there. You are kind of going to see this because this is the back where the air brakes go. I think I drilled holes in here. I think. But anyway, the piece that I'm really dreading in all this, other than these ladders and the las cannons, are these, because you've got a fair bit of cleanup to do in between them. So they're going to be a bit tricky to work on. But yeah, and this, yeah, maybe because if you make a mistake, it's very hard to rectify it. And you can green stuff in these holes. That's fine, because you're going to be spraying, you know, or even like painting directly on that. But this piece will take a bit of time. How would you feel if the bubble was in the window? Well, obviously I've got two, but I've never seen any bubbles in the window because they're typically flat pieces, and you know, I don't think they'd have that issue. I mean, there's 6 windows there, and I guess these side panels as well. Yeah, if there was something that was irreparable, I would always phone them up or email them and say, look, there's an air bubble on this clear bit that I want to remain clear, because some people will spray over this. I'm trying to avoid doing that because I want to see Space Marines inside. Yeah, I'd contact Forge World, but you know, I haven't had an issue with these two. What they do with the Warhound Titan is they provide you with a sheet of clear kind of plastic card. I think that would be a bit cheap for them to do that with this kit. So I welcome the fact that they've given you a clear sort of plastic canopy, to at least give you that option of painting it or leaving it clear. But yeah, with the Warhound, you're kind of left to cut out a stencil with it. I think for both of mine, I just painted over them, but like with a translucent colour, like with a candy paint. I think that works quite well. I mean, I think some people have even put like LEDs in their Titans to make them light up from the inside. Those do look quite cool. It's real progress, I think, with this kit, because I was only ever going to have 2. I mean, the Thunderhawk Transporter, if they made one of those, I'd be all over that. But yeah, I could never see myself having 3 or 4 or 5, or, you know, a squadron of them. I think 2 is 2 and a Stormbird and a number of Storm Eagles and Fire Raptors and Xiphons is all right for a chapter. Maybe a chapter should have 4 minimum Thunderhawks, but I think they get away with this because they've got that Stormbird, and then an Overlord if they ever bring out one of those. But yeah, I think two and the Stormbird is fine for the chapter. Ideally, it would be great to have 2 Stormbirds and 3 or 4 Thunderhawks for 1,000 Space Marines, but you know, you're typically only going to be deploying one of the companies, which is 100 Space Marines at one time, maybe 2. So already that is, you know, 60 Space Marines plus the 50, that's 110. So I can transport a company, you know, with a contingent drop podding and teleporting. Probably 2 companies could be deployed at one time. I don't see how you'd be deploying 20% of your entire force though. You know, a company of Space Marines should be enough to deal with most planetary unrests. You might have to deploy a few companies if you know, some horde armies are invading, or this is why I'm very interested to see the number of deployment for the new Space Marine game. Not Bolt Gun, the actual Space Marine 2 game. And that is this year. We don't have to wait too long for that one. Isn't there a check? Isn't there a check by someone card in those 412 boxes? There is sampler, but you know, it still does. I mean, it limits the number of parts that are damaged and not up to scratch, but you can still get that. It's still human error at the end of the day. I mean, you can still get some issues, and that's why they've got really good customer service. With the hundreds of kits that I've had, I've only had a few issues, and I don't think that I've been lucky, because I've bought some older kits. I think in the last 2 years they've come on so much. You know, this Thunderhawk being one of the kits I got in the last 2 years. Been very impressed. You know. Is that the when you're talking about the cost? Are you talking about the cost of the chapter? Maybe. I don't know. I think Thunderhawks are all right. It's just getting the other flyers for the chapter. The cost for the chapter. See what I mean about this part being a bit of a nightmare, because they're quite hard to get to, these poles either side of the ladder. These are too fiddly for you, are they? Yeah, I guess so. I think it's the patient side of things. I think, but that's the same for any kind of big kit. Like the War Master, the plastic War Master has got what, 300 parts, so more parts than this. It's just those parts are easier to work with because they're plastic. So maybe the patience thing it is easier to manage than, say, resin. I definitely feel like this affects your patience more than any plastic kit. I'd probably say because there are more things different types of things to clean up. Whereas plastic, you've just got your extras off the sprue and then the mold lines, and then when they join, that's kind of it. With resin, there are more things to be aware of. Would I recommend this as your first big resin kit? Yeah, I would. Over a Warhound and a Reaver? Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you've got a Primaris Space Marine force, or you know, you've had Space Marines for a while and you get back into the hobby and you want a big centerpiece, but you don't want to spend hundreds on a, you know, I think Warhounds are like almost £500 now. So, you know, Reavers are like 700. Don't get me started on Warlords and Warbringers. They're very expensive. Kriegsman, how you doing? How you doing? Here I am, another Thunderhawk video because of you, sir. Yeah, no, definitely Sampler. Yeah. Still a bit sleepy after last night. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, how the body works? You know, you get more sleep and sometimes you feel more sleepy, and you get less sleep and you sometimes feel okay. I am fully awake after the live stream last night, and I have been on here for 2 hours now. Yeah, I will be headed off at 2:30. So yeah, I think 3.5 hour stream is all right. And then I believe the next stream that I will do, might be able to finish these parts off. In the next hour I can foresee myself finishing these pieces at least. So it's good progress today. The thing is, I did say that I would go through the whole build of this, so to help people with theirs. Yeah, have a good one, Sampler. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you have a good time there. Thanks for all your comments this morning. You didn't get the notification today, so you're lagging behind. I wonder, with YouTube, with the notification settings, I wonder whether it's within 24 hours they send you the notification, or whether it counts as a new day. I think it does count as a new day, so there should have been 2 notifications. One for the unboxing of the Venator, and 2 the start of this stream. But yeah, YouTube is a bit funny sometimes with the notifications. I get that with Apple TV. Like, I'll get a notification a day later. Oh, there's a new episode of such and such. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah, I've already watched it. Thanks. Hello, Lake. How are you? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, everyone. Whatever you're up to. I don't normally stream on a Sunday, but I've been in a great position today and last week to live stream, so I hope you're enjoying it all. Only just saw this in Discord. Okay, well, that's great. Let Discord let you know. Do you sell your miniatures, or do you have a massive collection? I'd look in my most viewed videos. I think my collection video is there. It's actually the video. One of the videos is on the front of my YouTube channel page. So yeah, no, I don't sell any of them. I've got quite a large collection. Getting there with this piece. I think we're almost done. Yeah, it's good to have a gap in between those runs of the ladder. I know it takes half an hour or so, but yeah, just needs a bit of a polish. Oh, thank you. Oh, we can keep him over there. Possibly keep him over there. Yeah, part of me wants to get the Volkite for the next Iridio, but I do like the autocannon one. The last cannon one in plastic is going to be, you know, same detail, and the same for the autocannon really. They've done a good job with the plastic las cannons and autocannons, but the plasma, and the Volkite, they're two weapons in resin that are, you know, you could potentially get more detail out of them. So that is the only reason why I would pick up the Volkite, not for a rules reason or just purely for an aesthetic reason. I'll probably give it heavy bolters too. I mean, it's a walk-in fire support platform. The only reason you need the heavy flamers is if you're concerned that it would get charged. So that piece done. I know that piece took a while, but it's one of those. So this is the top. I think it goes on like so. It'll go on here, just there, in fact. So that's where that piece will go. And then we've already done the lower part, and that will go on like that. And we're getting there. We are getting there. I might need to get some more Gorilla Glue though, because I think my one has died. But yeah, 2 of them. I have to go and find the Stormbird. I might even start painting the Stormbird. I've been thinking about things to paint in the stream, but you know. Yeah, we can work on this. It's not too much of a bigger piece. Where do you keep all of your models? That's an interesting question. What, like for storage and things? Some I'll display. Some I will put back in their boxes. So I'd like to display more, but I just don't really have the space. And it's one of the reasons why, one of the reasons, not the main reason, but one of the reasons why I don't paint an awful lot. It's because if I painted them all, I'd just end up in boxes and not really displayed. And I'm so proud of my paint jobs. Whenever I do a good one, that I'd like to keep things displayed. Yeah, a lot of them are in Titan boxes. I think they make great storage boxes. But of course, you know, store them in any boxes, I guess, couldn't you? As long as you are careful with bubble wrap. And layer your models. The hardest models really to Space Marines are really easy, except for the vehicles. The hardest ones are like knights, big detailed miniatures like the Primarchs, especially like Mortarion, is pretty hard to store. Tyranid models, Chaos Space Marine models. Titans I don't really store. Normally Titans I have on display. I think we're getting there with this. It's a nice piece, this kind of tail wing. Oh. Hope you're winning with all your hobby projects today, whether you're building or painting. You know, don't be shy, put what you're working on. Even your progress as well. Quite a few of you were building Space Marines last night. Well, some like heavy intercessors and things, so I mean, I guess people are preparing for 10th by building up all their Primaris. I mean, all mine are kind of built, except for the Imperium minis. I don't think I've built any of the Imperium minis, which is when you think about it, quite a lot of minis there. I just haven't had the time compared to when I had the time for Conquest. Also, there's been some very decent video games out over the past few months, and I found myself spending time on those. as well as these new releases. But I will cover Seraphon. Looking forward to them. Hope I can do the paint schemes justice though. I think I'm going to go for the turbo lasers before the las cannons now. Important thing to do with the las cannons is not to glue them onto the onto these, because then they can kind of move in line with the aerofoils, as demonstrated. That's all kind of custom. This having them up or in a down position, that's for 6 magnets I think in each, so that's 12 magnets to do that. You can magnetize the missiles as well. I've magnetized the heavy bolter turrets by putting the magnet there. The magnet's a bit overkill, it's a bit too strong, but it's important to get a thick magnet for those, otherwise it won't reach and there won't be enough pull. So just can't believe how long it's been since I built that kit. So much has changed, so much has happened. When you build a big kit like that, you sometimes remember what was going on in your life and, you know, reflect. Okay. It's difficult, it's easy to get lost into these parts, these big parts, until you're truly happy with them. As I say, once you complete these, you do have a bit of freedom going back, even if you glue the whole model to tidy up some pieces. Even once it's sprayed and painted, you've got some options. If you find things you're not happy with your own work, but it's just nice to get that done without spotting some things and without having the need to go back. I'd rather, you know, measure twice and cut once. Spend a bit longer on the cleaning up than having to remedy a mistake later. Okay, right, so there's a few air bubbles in this one. So the attic. Oh yeah, the Stormbird's definitely in the attic. Completely transparent about where the Stormbird is. Just takes up so much room. The Thunderhawk you can put on a shelf, but a Stormbird it's a different kettle of fish, really. A bit like the Star Destroyer, the Lego Star Destroyer, you need a dedicated space for that. The 8080 is not too bad to put somewhere and store. It doesn't take much of a, use the pun here, footprint, but Star Destroyer, yeah, it does take a big area. Flyers usually do take up large areas, more than walkers. This definitely has a much bigger footprint than the Warlord Titan. Thinking maybe soft green stuff isn't the way to go for this particular filler part. But we will persevere with it. It's like having a rain dog basket in the middle of the room. Yeah, the footprint is pretty large. Yeah, but as you know, Krieg, you should never be in a rush to glue things. Like, the gluing is easy, and it will take a fraction of the time of all of this preparation. You know, so, and it's a very fun part, don't get me wrong, but the preparation stage is the longest stage for these kits, I think. Depends on your painting. Painting might take a bit longer, but it's a vehicle at the end of the day. It's not a Primark. We're going to leave that with a bit of an overflow. Got another corner air bubble. Air bubbles popping on corners are tricky. Again, leave that with a bit of an overflow. And that should be fine. That's okay because that's going to be connected to the top. I did spot that. Right, so yeah, this corner piece though. Oh, a resin basket. Right, that's that piece done. We're cracking on with this today, which is nice. So we're 2.5 hours in. I'd say I'm going to give it another 20 minutes. See how far we can get on this turbo laser. Yeah, that needs a fair bit of work. I'd still like to magnetise this front hatch like I have done with this. I've got a magnet in each side and then a magnet in the frame as well, and because if you don't have that, it's not just going to stay. That's the reason why that stays closed, because of those there's 4 magnets. I'd like to do the same with this mechanism. It's easier as well if you like, yeah, look, it's easier if you do it at this stage. So that's probably going to be like one of the first things we do, is magnetise this assault ramp. Quite a nice big assault ramp door as well. You can actually foresee Terminators coming out of this, as opposed to the Spartan, which has a very narrow kind of flooring before you get to the assault ramp. This is nice and big and chunky. You just got to be wary of the lights as you're running out of that. But yeah, we'll be working on that in the next video, along with these wings. I think we'll do the fuselage, and we'll save the wings till last. So we'll do all of this fuselage part. I think this goes on somewhere like that, and then that would go on there. And we've got the lower part somewhere too. But that will go on like that. So we're getting there. We really are getting there. I wonder if I can just very tempting just to start putting that together. So yeah, we're on it, aren't we? We are getting there with the 2 of them. Yeah, we're just going to finish this turbo laser, and then that's it for for the stream today, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll try and have another one during the week. I'll try. That's the plan. But we'll have Seraphon next weekend. And I do have some time off coming soon. So there's a potential where I do a few videos where I put it together and paint it. Yeah, so you're not going to see this bit at all. That'll be underneath. Okay, well that didn't take me as long as I sort of thought it would. I'm quite happy with the way that this piece turned out. Yeah, having slippage or mould lines or whatever on cannons can be sometimes a bit tricky to resolve. But this seemed to be alright. I think it helps that you're not going to see this as well. It's going to be like that. So just cleaning this area is paramount. Yeah, I think we're done on that. It's one of the key parts of the whole kit though. It's definitely an important one to get right and to get cleaned sufficiently. It is a focal point, this main turbo laser. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you for that. That's about time I put the charger in, just to avoid that. So my voice might sound a bit different now for the next 10 minutes or so. But yeah, just giving everyone a heads up, got 10 minutes left of the live stream. I've been streaming for over 2.5 hours now. So yeah, I need a longer cable, it seems. Yeah, I don't really want to risk that, so there you go, that's better. Fantastic, right. There it is. So that's the cannon done, which will go there. And it's done. So that was a key piece. Yeah, I suppose for the next 10 minutes we could work on the las cannons. They're gonna just slot onto there. It doesn't really matter which way you put them. They're both the same on each side, but yeah, we could work on these las cannons a little bit. I've been sort of putting them off. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the stream today. Just a nice little almost 3-hour stream. The reason why I'm not continuing the stream, or I won't be back later, is because I have got to go somewhere. So that's why I'm not going to continue for the rest of the day. I will be back. I'll try and be back on Wednesday, but if not, it'll be another day during the week, and then I'll certainly be back on the Saturday if the Seraphon arrive. I'll be building some Seraphon. Completely new army for me, new adventure. The thing is, I always get so much positive support whenever I put forward a question. Should I cover this army? Should I do this? Very rare that I'd ever get any negative support. Which is good. So I hope you enjoy that content when it drops. Nope, can't fit that in. Okay, like the turbo laser, this isn't too bad. I'm probably going to need to heat these up just to bend them into place, because there they are on a bit of a wonk. Oh, Dante Carlini, your coverage of the STD Army set put me to scout it and the orders start collecting out just a couple of days ago. I might need to avoid the Seraphon to save my wallet for myself. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you can enjoy the content. Like, you don't have to get the Seraphon. You can enjoy my coverage of it. Looking at the range on GW's web store, it's almost like I'm not going to be able to pick up everything I want to pick up for the release. Like, I wouldn't mind picking up some of the larger creatures like the Steglodon or whatever it is, you know, but just with stock issues, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So that might be, yeah, they might be videos for another time. But certainly the new stuff, I'm looking forward to picking up, covering for everyone. I held off it last time, and when I say last time, we're talking, there probably was a bit of a release between 2013 September and now. They probably released a couple more new kits, but if they did, I can't remember, and I like the look of them back in 2013. And I saved myself from getting them and covering them, and I'd only just started back into Warhammer and doing content on it, really, on the channel. Anyway, that last cannon is done. Just to go back onto the stream topic, so I'm happy with the way this last cannon's come out. There's not really any slippage, mold lines now. Very clean looking. So happy with that. That just needs to be heated and bent straight to go on to one of these. Loose though, loose. Right, so just this one to do, but I'm going to call it there for the day, because yeah, I need to grab some food and stuff and get ready. But thank you everyone for joining me again for this live stream. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you gained some tips, and you know, there will be daily content, of course, throughout the whole of this week, as usual. But thanks for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.